Man, I got so much to tell y'all niggas. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the top of when I picked this son of a bitch up from the airport. I picked this motherfucker up at 6:30. By midnight, I had already cussed him the fuck out, threatened to put him out of my car, and told him to fly back home. And told him he was a short little motherfucker that did not have the right to get loud with me in my fucking car. Ballin' bitch. So we went to a play because apparently that's why this little motherfucker came here. Then after the play, the plan was to go eat. This nigga didn't want to go eat. He wanted to have drinks with his fucking mentor or some shit. Then by the time we get to the restaurant, the fucking kitchen was closed. So after we leave the fucking restaurant and we couldn't eat at, we find out 94 is shut down. So I had to take that fucking detour. And I don't know how to fucking get to 694, so I got a little lost, got a little turned around. This little bitch is bitching about when he gonna eat and how he ain't ate all day and how he didn't eat on the plane. And I was tempted to be like, motherfucker, you weigh 130 goddamn pounds. You all right? Oh, 5'2" foot ass fucking bitch. So this motherfucker decides that we need to go to Taco Bell. So I'm like, cool, well, we can go to Taco Bell, but I don't eat that shit. So we get to Taco Bell. He's asking for everything that ain't on the fucking menu. Talking about he want a shrimp taco. The bitch at the window was like, we ain't got no fucking shrimp, so hurry up and buy. And so I looked at him like, they don't have that. He gets in the window like, well, they got it in Chicago. How come y'all ain't got it here? I'm like, you little fucking bitch. Shut the fuck up and order a goddamn taco supreme like everybody else that comes to this goddamn bitch. You gonna get horse meat any fucking way. Not only is he not cute, he couldn't make up for it in height, class, comedy, personality, or charisma. And the nigga had to shave his head bald because he already lost his fucking hair. So on top of being a fucking dwarf, you mean to tell me you got these skinny ass lips, a balding head, and you ain't make up for it in your fucking pocket, little bastard? He didn't even want to claim to be black. He told me he had Puerto Rican in his family. This shit's freaking crazy. So then, after the lady gives us the total, because he ordered some complicated ass tacos, she's like, do you want a supreme? He was like, yeah, I want everything on it. Then as soon as I go to pull off, he's like, wait, I don't want no tomatoes because I don't like tomatoes. And I was like, well, we've already pulled off. So then this nigga starts to loud talk me in my motherfucking car like he's tall, talking about some well, you don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do me. I'm a real nigga, and you gotta talk to me. And you don't be just cutting me off. I don't want no top fucking tomatoes. I don't eat tomatoes. I said, you little fucking bitch. If you don't shut up, first and foremost, don't be loud talking to me in my goddamn car. You could get the fuck out and call your mentor and take your ass right back to Chicago. You can grab Suri, talk to Suri on there, and ask her ass for a cab or Uber or Lyft to get you right back to the airport. And how soon you can get a flight back to Chicago, because I don't have time for your shenanigans. You damn sure already on my bad side. You've been complaining since you got out here. I told him he wasn't tall enough to get loud with me in my car, and that if push came to shove, he wouldn't weigh enough, and I could fight him and take him, and he could get out of my car with the quickness. So then he's like, come on, boo, let's squash it, and let's just be cool, and then we can put this down. So the next day is when we went to Stella's Fish Cafe in the morning, because he was bitching about needing seafood or whatever, so the whole time he was like, I'm a real nigga, I'm from Chicago, you probably don't know no niggas like me, I'm one of these niggas that really got my stuff together. So we're at Stella's Fish Cafe, and then this fool decides he can't just order shrimp. He got to order shrimp with a Chicago twist, and he got to drink and take a morning shot. And he's mad because I won't take a shot with him, so he tells me that I'm lame because I don't drink and I don't go to bars. I even was nice enough to explain to him, like, well, there's a few reasons why I don't go to bars. Like, I'm fucking old. I ain't got time for that shit. I got a crazy ex-husband. Why did I mention that? Because then he goes down this whole road about how he's a real nigga and how he could throw them hands and how he ain't never lost a street fight and that he'll show my ex-husband what's up. Like, what you think he crazy? What you think he could fight me or that he could beat me? I'm like, first of all, you ain't nothing but 5'2", nigga. I got shoes that weigh more than you. There's no way that you can beat my ex-husband who works out daily and is built like a hawk. There's just no way. But even besides that, like, why is that where your mind went? And out of nowhere, he's like, are we going to church tomorrow? This is after he didn't insisted on drinking, after he didn't insisted on going to a bar, after he didn't insisted on talking about how he ain't never lost a street fight and how he fights better than any other nigga. Oh, and he did 6 months in the county jail in Chicago, so that makes him real nigga status. He decides to say, are we going to church tomorrow? No, bitch, we're not going to church tomorrow. Oh, why? You ain't got no relationship with God? All this is in less than 12 hours. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hadn't even been here. Well, was it 12? No, it was less than 24 hours by this point. By the end of this dinner, I told the waitress to probably bring the check because I was fucking done and that I had nothing else to talk about. This nigga goes on to say, well, how do you expect to keep a strong relationship with God if you don't go to church? I mean, if you're going to be my woman, I'm going to need you to be more open-minded, and you got to be, like, willing to go to church because that's how you keep a strong relationship with the Lord. And at that point, I was so tempted to snap the fuck out, but I didn't because I was like, you know what? His grandfather is a very good friend of my mom. I'm not going to show my ass. Let me find something that we can do that doesn't involve him speaking anymore. So then We go to a movie. I picked the longest, most action-packed movie possible, so he wouldn't say anything else to me. Then he wanted to go out to a bar, so I'm like, well, we can go to the Minnesota Music Cafe. The music is loud. I can get some tacos, and I can disappear with, the old crowd on the dance floor, and you can sit your corny ass here in the corner. So then to show out, LaDonna was there, right? Oh, badass, thick-ass LaDonna was there. Well, LaDonna was there, and so he sees me talking to LaDonna. So to show out, he sends over a round of free drinks for her and all her friends, talking about, yeah, I'm a real nigga. I'm gonna take care of your girls no matter where we're at, and I'll take care of you. And whoop de whoop whoop. So then, that's like totally be, like. By then I'm done. So he's offering her drinks, and then finally, we get into the car to go back home. So I go in my room, and I'm like, I'm gonna go take a shower because this nigga is just, there's no way. Like, I decided a long time ago I wasn't fucking visible. His punk ass downstairs. So I go take a shower, and when I come out of there, I've been bitching in the shower the whole time, talking to myself like, I wish this bitch would go home. I want this nigga to go home. I want him out of my house. He's short, ugly, I fucking hate him. Blah blah blah. I'm going in. I come out of the shower, and this nigga is standing outside the door, butt ass naked. I legit can't make this shit up. It was like looking at a 12-year-old fucking 5'2" boy. So he's standing there talking about them. So you gonna let me did that? And I just was standing there with this complete look of disgust and disgrace, and just I was like, no, like there's no possible way that you're that clueless, that you're that far off base. Like, I've been giving you the most disgusted looks. I've done everything to stay completely away from you and stop you from talking to me. I have not dressed up for you. I did not even clean my house. Like, I just started leaving nasty shit on the floor just in hopes that you would stop. So then, to make matters even worse, he's like, oh, what, you scared of this dick? You scared of how I'm going to put it down on that ass? I just looked at him and I said, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm terrified. Have you packed your stuff yet? Because they be tripping at our airport. I know you don't leave till like 3:40, but I got to get you there like really early because Sundays are just super hard. And there's going to be a lot of traffic because, it's like rush hour. So then, the very next morning, I was up at 5:30, as y'all already know, and I made a post like, got to get this nigga up out my house. So I left and went to the farmer's market, and I came back, and he was still upstairs, asleep, I guess. I really didn't give a fuck. I stayed downstairs and was watching Bill Maher. So he comes downstairs and sits next to me and is like, oh, is you watching this? Because I need to log into my church online and pay my tithes because, I'm a Christian, and, I gotta stay on top with my God. That's my priority. I'm telling him that I'm watching Bill Maher at the moment, but you can gladly log into whatever my Wi-Fi is called, Nah Nigga. So you can go ahead and log into it. I'll give you the password. You're going to be all good. But don't say anything else like I'm watching this right now. Like, I'm really into politics. Lord knows I'm not into politics like that, but at that moment, I was really into politics. Like, all I wanted to do was listen to Bill Maher and no one else. So he's sitting there, and he turns on this ratchet country-ass church, and they got the nerve to be talking in tongues and, like, baptizing people and, like, tapping people on the head, and they're falling down. And I look, and he's like, you want to be a part of this church, right? They got the spirit in them real good. That's it. I go every Sunday. This is my church. I mean, even when I'm not there, I got to log in. And he's looking at me with the biggest smile, like he's just so into this gospel song. Like, can you feel that? See, when you come to Chicago, you got to come to my church. We're going to go to church. I'm going to introduce you to everybody. You can get baptized. You can get saved. I told him I was never coming to Chicago. I had no desire to ever see anything in Chicago. I'm never coming to Chicago again, like, in life. Like, I know my whole family lives there. And if I'm ever there, I mean, I'm just probably never going to be there again. Like, I have no desire to ever come to Chicago. Like, 94, I know it takes you there, but I'm never going to get on that highway. I'm not even going to drive on 94 here in Minnesota just because I don't want to slip up and end up in Chicago, ever. Then he decides about 10 minutes later that he's going to try to fuck again. And he's like, you see this? You got me hard just like that. I got a box full of like 50 condoms. We could just get it in. We might as well get it in before I leave. So he's like, yeah, unless you still scared of this sniper I got. I said, sir, I'm not a stranger to dick. I'm just not. And you know what? At this moment, I've never wanted dick less than I do right now. I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm gonna go take a shit. And then you should be ready to go, right? I was just being as gross and disgusting as possible. I was farting. I was burping. I was just being as nasty. I didn't call my fucking weave. I kept talking about how it was weave. I dropped that motherfucker off at the airport at literally like 11 o'clock. I threw all his bags out of my trunk. Like, I jumped out. I opened up the trunk. I was pulling out his bags. Before he even got his seatbelt off, I was pulling out his bags, tossing them on the curb. And he was like, damn, shorty, I don't get no love before you leave. But he had gotten out the car. Honey, I got back in the car. I leaned over, grabbed the door, closed that bitch, put that bitch in drive, and took off faster than anybody else. You ain't never seen a Kia Soul take off that fast from nobody. I was faster than a plane. I took off the fucking runway. And he got deleted and fucking blocked with the quickness. And I promptly told my mom that he disgusts me. I think she had a conversation with his grandfather. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't fucking care. And from now on, Nothing a short man can do for me but point me in the direction of a tall man. I think he tried to text me, but I blocked his number. And I think I blocked him on Facebook too. I know I blocked him on Instagram. Like, this nigga's hairline was just so far gone. And it was just like, he was the same size as me. And he thought he was just all of that. He was like, you want to feel this washboard, don't you? I've just never met a nigga so corny in all of my life. I was tempted to just not bathe like the whole time he was here. Like, if that wasn't outside of my element, I probably would have done that shit and just stopped bathing. And all he talked about was how Minnesota too slow for him. I'm like, nigga, you too slow for my pussy. How about that? First nigga in history besides my ex-husband to make my pussy just stop working. Like, I don't even think it could have. It, like, shriveled up like a mushroom and, like an old mushroom and, like, twisted itself inside out. Bitch, if a nigga ever tries to pick you up at a family funeral, keep going. Like, just run. Because it's going to end up the exact same way. I can almost promise you. Any nigga that's low budget enough to pick you up at a funeral is just not worth life.